In its quest to provide an open forum for discussion of controversial issues, this station allows hosts and their guests to express themselves without any significant censorship. You're advised that any views expressed by the hosts or their guests are not necessarily the views of Tug Entertainment or its partners.
Motherhood Incorporated proudly presents Military Mom Talk Radio live on TogiNet.com. Co-hosted by Robin Boyd and Sandra Beck, the owner of Motherhood Incorporated. Military Mom Talk Radio is here with a powerful platform for women to discuss their ideas, issues, and concerns with respect to the military lifestyle. Military Mom Talk Radio encourages you to share your experiences of being a military wife and mother. This show is dedicated to educating your family about the many resources that are available in both the public and private sector, and we'll be sharing helpful information from women all over the world. We'll cover everything military, from helping a family member cope with post-traumatic stress disorder, to navigating government programs dealing with family issues, to the struggles of deployment, along with being a working mother both in and out of the home. This is Military Mom Talk Radio, and here are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra Beck, and we've got a great show today. We are going to welcome Nicole Germain from the Women's Small Business Expo. We've got Janine Wilburn, and she comes to us from Touch-nology. She's been with us before. And then we have Joyce Faulkner, president of the Military Writers Society of America, for one of our writing learning corners. We had a lot of fun last month on that one. I know I did. We got lots of J's today: Germain, Janine, and Joyce.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like a tongue twister. It's like a tongue twister. Wow. So, girls, we've got lots going on in our military arena. And one of the things that I'm really happy about having Nicole Germain on is that with the recent downsizing that's all over the news, and we've got these military hire companies coming on, we know that some of these men and women that are transitioning from military to civilian life will become their own business owners. And, of course, Robin, you are. I am. Mm-hmm. For those of us that don't fit nicely, square pegs in a round hole is usually what happens to me. But that's a great opportunity for our military service men and women, because they've got that can-do attitude, and they come out with some really rockin' skills.
Absolutely. And I think these expos are just wonderful. We just had one up here in New Hampshire 2 weeks ago that just was amazing. And so many people come out. And what's wonderful is you get so invigorated to see, wow, she did that. Wow, she did that. And it gives you the inspiration to just go right ahead and say, okay, that's what I needed. I need to know that I can do it too.
Well, it's, in everything we use, all the products we use, all the companies and services we use just started with an idea.
Mm-hmm. Usually a need. The need. There's always a need, and by necessity comes invention. That old adage.
Right, it's the mother of invention, not the father of invention.
Absolutely.
I'm going to throw some other women empowerment thing in here today, because, my son came home from school and he was talking about the cotton gin, and Eli Whitney, and how in those days only men could hold patents. Women were not, women were considered property. So women and slaves, they couldn't, hold patents in their own name. So it looked like all these men were these great inventors, but they weren't inventing these things. Think of Eli Whitney. He wasn't out picking cotton. He wasn't stringing this stuff. How on earth did he come up with a better machine? And it turned out, I forget if he said it was either a slave or his wife that actually came up with the how-to of the cotton gin, but because he was a man and only men could hold patents at the time, or something like that. We really got the shaft, slaves and women, in the inventing of things, but that's not the way it is today. Today, we can apply for patents and trademarks and create companies and all these wonderful things. And that's why we're so happy to have opportunity and to broaden people's horizons and say, hey, you know what? Give it a shot. In this economy, small businesses are doing okay. I mean, they're doing as well as people who are employed in full-time jobs and taking pay and benefit cuts.
Yeah. It is amazing. And I think the only thing that holds anybody back is themselves. And I guess that's a little bit naive in a way, but in a way, I think anybody can just put their mind to it and just say, all right, there's going to be a way. And I think more and more people are thinking outside the box. More and more people are really willing to say, okay, this is not going to work for me. How else can I make it work? And I think women are just very, very good at that.
Well, and with free websites today, or websites that are $1 a month, things that make it possible for people to enter into the workforce. And there's so much you can do with an internet connection, insofar as building your home business. I mean, you just can't be beat. And if you're a mother with children like me, you see me run out of the radio show every week to go get my kids from school. You can juggle and you can make a living. And I think it's one of those things, Robin, where, I came from a family of service members. My family came from Germany and Poland, and they came here and they worked in the factories and they sewed and they worked for Kodak. And, the whole methodology of my family history was get a good job, get benefits, retire. When you're 65, that was the protocol. Well, it didn't happen for me, and it didn't happen for a lot of people of my generation, especially in the computer industry. And it was just a natural to form your own company and work from home.
Yeah, exactly. I love the fact that young women have so many opportunities and so many choices now. I think this is the not that we haven't been able to do things in recent years, and say yours and my generation. I'm a little bit older than you, but so many times I think in our parents' generation it just was, a woman wasn't going to do that. Now it's just completely different, and I love it. I think it's just wonderful.
It is, and I think it's giving permission, permission to say, you can start your own business, you can do it and can be successful, because that wasn't even in the discussions around the dinner table. It was, where were you going to school? What company would you work for? And, and I have to credit, I always talk badly about my ex-husband, but I'm going to give him actually some good credit today, which, hold on to your hats, there's not an earthquake or a monsoon coming. But he came from a family of entrepreneurs, and they were all self-employed. All the children in his family were self-employed, and that was such an amazing concept to me. And then here comes the insult, because it's coming. But when I saw what they were doing, at least the sisters had a good company, I was like, I can do that. I can do that better. So, it's interesting when you see an opportunity and go, gee, I can do that. And that's what we're hoping to do today on Military Mom Talk Radio, is give you that opportunity, and every week, to follow your dream, to build a company, to manage your life and your family. You know what? We need to go to Doris with the news you can use. She has an announcement coming from Black Eagle Force, and she has some ratings she wants to talk about.
Yes, I do. Happy March, everyone. It's March. And remember, first announcement, this weekend, daylight savings time begins. And we move the clock, and we move the clocks 1 hour forward. Longer days. Yay! Anyway. Okay, I guess nobody else is excited. I do have some great news from the news programs on television. They just had a survey that came out for their ratings, and my favorite guys, the fair and balanced people of the O'Reilly Factor, came out number one. 3 cheers. And thank you. And even bigger news, the Fox News station took the first 12 spots. And yes, I said the first 12, with my other main guy, Sean Hannity, coming in at number 2, and my main gal, Greta Van Susteren, came in at number 5. So, guys, all I can say is if you want the real news, you got to go to Fox News. So, Okay, and my other announcement is for our listeners who also like to read action-packed books of a military persuasion. A couple of weeks ago, if you guys remember, we had 2 military veterans that have turned award-winning authors. Their names were Buck Steinke and Ken Farmer. Remember those guys? Yeah. And they were on this show talking about their book series called Black Eagle Force. Well, anyway, they reached out to me and said for the next 2 weeks they are having a sale on their 2 books, Black Eagle Force, Eye of the Storm, and Black Eagle Force, Sacred Mountain. And you can purchase these books at the sale price of $17.49 plus a small shipping charge. And this is the best thing, the authors will autograph the books for you. And I think that is very cool. And I'm personally reading The Eye of the Storm right now, and it is very hard for me to put down. It is riveting. So I highly recommend our listeners go to the website, www.blackeagleforce.com, and pick up these autographed books right now. Remember, we have some holiday events coming up. We got Easter, Mother's Day, and Father's Day. And it would be great to buy these beautiful books, signed copies to give as gifts. And that's my news for the day.
That's great. And we did enjoy having Ken and Buck on. They were great guests a couple of weeks ago. So if anybody missed those segments, they can always check out our podcasts on either iTunes or at militarymomtalkradio.com. Did we have another bit of news, Sandra, or are you all set? I can't remember.
Well, the only news that I know coming up is that Girl Scout cookies are out.
Yes, they're still out.
Yeah. Next week, gals, I'm going to have to take a little bit of time out of the show because next week on March 12th, we are celebrating our 100th birthday. We are just so proud of that.
Wow.
Girl Scouting started on March 12th, 1912 with about 18 girls, and Juliette Lowe's mission is now involving millions of girls around the world, actually, not just here in America, but around the world. So we are very, very excited that yes, I'll certainly let people know all about our Girl Scout cookies. By the way, we send hundreds of thousands of boxes to our troops overseas, and we're really proud of that mission. Coming up on the other side of the break, we are going to meet Nicole Germain. She is from MJG Communications, and she has a lot of information about the Fabulous Moms Women's Small Business Expo. You'll want to stay tuned on Military Mom Talk Radio.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
Second chances. We all deserve them. And we are all worthy of them. Second Chances. With your host, Midge Noble. Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central on TogiNet is like coming home to warm, fresh-baked cookies, a hug from Grandma, or an enthusiastic greeting from your dog. Second Chances, hosted by Midge Noble, a licensed professional counselor, is affirming, warm, genuine, validating, and thought-provoking. Second Chances is a place to be heard, a place to laugh, a place to cry, and a place to be seen. For more on Midge and Second Chances, check out MidgeNobleSecondChances.com. Then be a part of a show that will change how you think, how you feel, and what you do. Give yourself the gift of second chances and see where it will take you. So take a deep breath, open your heart, open your mind, and join host Midge Noble for Second Chances. Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Mark Lipinski is coming to TogiNet. It's Creative Mojo with Mark Lipinski, a live 2-hour show Wednesday afternoon starting at 2 Central on TogiNet.com. Creative Mojo. It's fun, entertaining, informative, inspirational, and illuminating. Lipinski has worked on such shows as Oprah, The View, The Joan Rivers Show, and Ricky Lake. He's busy, but he's got the drive to share with Creative Mojo, dedicated to the modern crafter and crafting lifestyle. Dive into the info and enjoy everything from celebs to entertainment news to recipes, quilting and needlework, knitting, painting, woodworking, Christmas crafts, and so much more. This show boldly encourages you to discover and harness your own creative spirit by living creatively every day. For more on Mark and the show, check out marklipinski.com. Don't miss the fun. It's Creative Mojo with Mark Lipinski. Wednesday afternoon starting at 3, 2 Central on TogiNet.com.
Put a boot in your ass. It's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com. Covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra Beck, and I am here with Robin Boyd and Doris Becky, and our guest coming up is Nicole Germain, and she is the brainchild CEO superstar behind the Women's Small Business Expo, and they're going to be doing something this Saturday for military moms. Nicole, are you with us?
I am. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you for tweeting about us. We saw this tweet come in, and I was like, you go, girl, you get it. All right, you can come back.
Happy
This is really exciting. This looks wonderful.
Yes, we are so excited about this event. It is a event for women small business owners, and it's called the Fabulous Moms Women Small Business Expo and Conference. And it's not just an expo, but it's an opportunity for women small business owners to connect with one another, network, and share resources. And then also an opportunity to market, sell, promote their products and services. And also an opportunity to learn about marketing, social media marketing, branding, sales, business finance 101, all the things that women need to know once they're starting a business or if they already have a business going. So it's an all-encompassing, grueling weekend, but you walk away feeling empowered and have the resources and information that you need to sort of take your business to the next level.
Well, and Nicole, that's so important because, one of the things that happens with small business owners, Robin's one and I'm one, you're so busy working in your business, to get things done, what you do to, make your business, that working on your business is really hard. And going to an expo like yours where you get information that says, hey, you need to have this in place for your overall business strategy, or this is a great idea to promote, almost like you need to be two people, the worker be in your company, and then the person that's running and working only on your company. And it's so funny because I was talking to my dad on the ride home yesterday, and I said, Dad, I really appreciate you watching the kids yesterday. I was able to go through my books and see, it was like $2,000 or something that I'm still owed my clients from March of last year. Well, he's like, well, my friend, he would just hire someone. And I'm thinking, Dad, if I had that money,
I would do it, but I don't.
I would do it, but I don't. And most small business owners have to be the marketing professional, the accounting professional, and then, of course, be good at what they're doing in their company.
Exactly. And it is very hard, especially if you're a mom and you're trying to run a business and raise a family and take care of a household. It's hard work. And so what we want to do with this event is really offer those resources so women can take the information that they receive at this event and apply it to their business throughout the year. And one of the key things that we're doing this year is each year we honor a special segment of women. And this year we're honoring military moms. And what we want to do with the event is on Saturday of the event, we'll have a fashion show. We'll have a number of people to come out and sort of show their appreciation for these women. And so we're so grateful to have a number of our representatives from our state of Maryland to come out and to really sort of show that appreciation and say a few words of thank you to these women for the sacrifices that they make every day for this country. And so we just really want to take this opportunity this year at this expo to really show our appreciation for these women. So we'll have a fashion show. We'll do a special tribute to military moms. So we're looking forward to that. That's a special segment that we're having at our event this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, we should mention, we're talking about the event, but we should mention where the event is.
Yes.
It is Saturday, March 17th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Arundel Mills Mall. Is that pronounced correctly?
Actually, the event is a 3-day event. So we have it on
wonderful.
Friday, March 16th. So we have our networking on Friday, March 16th. And again, that's in Hanover, Maryland. And then on Saturday, we have our vending opportunity. That is from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And so, again, women small business owners are able to bring their products and services out, and they're there to promote, market, and sell that. At the expo, we have a number of entertainment, but this year, part of sort of what we're doing from our stage is the tribute to military moms. So that's going to be from 12 noon to 2 p.m. We'll have that tribute to military moms with a fashion show, with a number of speakers, with some performances, again, just showing our appreciation for these women. And then on Sunday at the event, we have our workshops, and then later on in the afternoon, the vending opportunity opens again. So we have the expo, and vendors are able to come out to bring their products and services to sell and promote. So it's 3 days. It's physically grueling, as I had mentioned before, but again, you walk away with the experience, the network of women, because there's like 100 to 150 women small business owners that are participating in this event. So they are the resources, they are your network, so we're there to connect and really share our resources and our knowledge with each other.
Isn't that great? Now, is this the first event of this kind? Is this a first annual, or have you been doing this for quite a while?
No. Well, actually, this is our second Fabulous Moms Women Small Business Expo and Conference. And in fact, we have been doing these events on a smaller scale for a very long time, but we really sort of came together, put our brains together, and came out with a big event last year. And now this is our biggest event each year. We have this Women Small Business Expo and Conference event. So it's really our second annual, but we've been doing this for a while in terms of bringing women together to promote and market and to learn new skills and techniques to sort of help them take their business to the next level.
That's really great. That's really great. And we also, I see on your flyer here, you have a website, fabulousmomsexpo.com. Is there some information on this website post-event? So if somebody is living in Montana, they could certainly log in here and find some information?
Absolutely. There will be information also on our Facebook, not only the website, but also on our Facebook, which is Fabulous Moms, www.facebook.com/Fabulous Moms. And you can find information updates. We also have a Twitter page, and you can find us at #FabulousMomsExpo. And updates will be going continuously throughout the conference. And even after the conference, there will be information there about the event.
That's fabulous. I hope you get lots of pictures and share them with us. So we'd love to have some pictures, especially of your fashion show.
Oh,
yeah, that
absolutely.
would be fun.
Yes, because these are moms with their kids. So it's so sweet for them to be able to share that experience with their kids. And you should see some of these moms. They really, really enjoy getting their hair done and their makeup and just putting on beautiful clothes and just strutting their stuff on that stage. They're just fabulous.
Who doesn't? I'll be out there.
Yes, they really enjoy it. And we just really want to sort of, again, show our appreciation for these wonderful women that, do so much within their community and, and work so very hard for their family. And we just want to show our appreciation for them. So all of our models this year are all military moms. So we are, again, showing our appreciation that way as well.
Now, is there anything we can do? Are you guys going to live stream online? You going to do anything where do you have a fan book page, something where we can go and see what you're doing?
We don't have live stream this year, but what we do have is Facebook and Twitter, and we have a Flickr page as well, where folks can keep up to date in terms of what's going on to see some pictures from the event itself.
Well, if you shoot any video, let us know. We'd love to see it, especially of the military moms.
Yeah, we will have video, so we'll definitely send that your way. But, you know, all the vendors and the women that participate in this event, again, they're, it's a lot of, it's many women that participate, but what I really want to sort of focus on is that these women volunteer in their community. They produce these wonderful products and services within their community. They take care of their families, and that's what makes them fabulous. And that's what, you know, when they bring their products and services out, they're showing sort of their passion and their creativity, and we just really sort of want to honor that and show our appreciation for that, because, you know, moms work very hard, and it's wonderful to sort of see them come out and sort of show their creativity in terms of their products and their services that they offer to the community.
Well, and Nicole, what would you say, if you have like 30 seconds, what would your best piece of advice be to one of our women wannabe entrepreneurs today?
Network, network, network. It's amazing. The contacts that you make, they can be resources, they can be a soundboard for you. It's just wonderful in order to reach out within your community, reach out to other mom entrepreneurs, reach out to moms in general, and just make that connection. Because, again, they can be your voice, the voice for your company. They can be the voice for your products. And it's just an opportunity to really sort of to share your dream, your passion with the community. Network, network, network. That's sort of my advice to everyone.
Perfect advice, and all the more strength and power and success for you and your organization. Thank you so much, Nicole. We want to repeat again, fabulousmomsexpo.com. We want to let everybody know that they should visit the Arundel Mills Mall in Hanover, Maryland this weekend, and you said it starts actually on Friday.
Actually, it's March 16th, 17th, and 18th. So it's not this weekend coming up, but the following weekend.
Great. And all of that information, schedule, and whatnot will be on the fabulousmomsexpo.com website or on their Facebook page. We'll definitely want to stay in touch with you. Thanks so much, Nicole, and good luck. Have a wonderful time.
You too.
Coming up in our next segment after the break, we'll have Janine Wilburn. She visits us from Touch-nology. We always love when Janine visits us. Touch-nology is a connection kit and product designed to bring resiliency, connection, and communication and healing to families in challenging situations. You will want to stay tuned for that. And in our third segment, or our fourth segment, because we're already in the second segment, aren't we? We've got Joyce Faulkner in the wing waiting. We've got lots of great things to share with you from Military Writers Society of America. Lots more to come on Military Mom Talk Radio. Stay tuned.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
Lindale Link with host Holly Rand comes Mondays at 10 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com.
Lindale Link is Lindale's first and only internet radio broadcast.
Holly, tell us about it.
It's really something from my heart that I want to be teamwork for the entire community to get the word out about everything that's going on here. We're talking to the entire community of Lindale. This is not limited to just businesses or just parents or just teachers. Simply to get the word out about your cause or your company, you must go to where the people are. And today, people are on the internet.
Lindale Link.
Lindale, Texas is a growing chain of business, education, commerce, community. Together, Lindale Link can create one strong chain of communication.
Check out LindaleLink.com and then check out Lindale Link, the radio show. Lindale Link with host Holly Rand. Mondays at 10 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Have you been laid off, fired, downsized, right-sized, or re-engineered out of a job? Are you unemployed or anticipate that possibility? Then tune in for Successfully Unemployed, hosted by Alan Sherwood, MBA, president of Sherwood Consulting Service. Successfully Unemployed will provide you a hope-filled and comprehensive approach to the job search process from an author who's experienced it all. Alan and his guests will cover all dimensions of a job search: physical tasks, mental attitude, emotional health, even one's spiritual perspective. All must be integrated in order for a person to be successfully unemployed so they can then be successfully employed. This show is designed to help you move forward from job loss to finding or creating more fulfilling work. For more on Alan Sherwood, MBA, and the show, check out his website, successfullyunemployed.com. Then join us for Successfully Unemployed with Alan Sherwood, MBA. Thursday nights at 8, 7 Central here on TogiNet.com.
No doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome back to Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms. That was the funniest noise. I think that was military mom's impression of a machine gun.
All I could think of is, that auto-tuning that they do, the rappers do or whatever, or Cher did it. Cher was one of the first ones to do it on with that auto-tuning noise,
Well, that's fun. To me, it sounds like a machine gun. I'm like, okay, we've got new machine guns coming out. There's one, I guess, that fires like 1 million rounds a minute. I mean, it's insane. And I'm like, this is what happens when your dad comes to live with you and he's 78 and he's former Navy. The military channel is on in my house.
It's on in our house all the time, too, honestly.
24/7. 24/7. But I'll tell you, it's a cool channel. I mean, I was watching this uniform thing the other day where they were testing uniforms. Like, I didn't realize how much work went into making a uniform, and they were blasting it with bullets and they were burning it and, all this stuff. And the kids and I were having a great time. We're like, whoa, look at that.
That one. And there's a History 2 channel now as well that we tune into a lot. And Modern Marvels does an awful lot too. I love the technology behind a lot of this stuff. They were talking about shoes, the soles of shoes for combat boots, the diversity that each type of combat boot needs. Amazing.
It is. Well, the one thing, like just things you don't, at least I don't think about. They were talking about, when you talk about shoes and uniforms, they were saying how they had to make a cost-effective way to make uniforms and the boots and stuff to fit women because our hips are wider and our ankles are narrower. And of course my dad looks by and he goes, yep, you would need that. That's what they do.
Way to go, Dad.
Yep, it's all good. It's all good. It makes me laugh. I love it. I love the time I get with my dad. I'm so lucky. For those of you that get the opportunity to have your parent come live with you, Robin, your mother lives with you too. I mean, you get to enjoy them with all the memories of a child, but all the wherewithal of an adult. And I think it's really outstanding.
It is, and it's just a wonderful. I love multi-generational homes. We've lived with my mother since 1994, so the kids were young when we moved here to take care of her. So it is wonderful.
It is a super gift. Well, we've got a great gift today in Janine Wilburn. She is the owner of a company called Touch-nology. That's one of the reasons we have her on here today. But the big reason we have her on today is that she is someone that I would like to offer up to our female military personnel who are mothers who are struggling with post-traumatic stress. Now, Janine's post-traumatic stress came from an accident. It didn't come from military service. But PTS, post-traumatic stress, whether you want to call it a PTSD disorder or not, is up for debate. But the fact of the matter is we have not in this country had a history of women soldiers, women airmen, women naval personnel serve and come back with post-traumatic stress, at least not publicly. And with 1 out of every 5 service we have to call them service personnel now, being a woman, because they're not servicemen. 20% of our armed forces are female. We really need to raise the awareness on how women deal with PTSD, and just to make it a little more fun, how women who are mothers deal with post-traumatic stress and post-traumatic stress disorder. Janine, welcome.
Nice to be back.
I'm glad to have you back. It's very, very hard to find someone who can come out and speak publicly about suffering from post-traumatic stress while raising a child. And that's enough to give you post-traumatic stress.
Well, that is. And then have your child later in life, and then you can at some point add menopause in there. At one point, one of my neurosurgeons turned to me and said, "Do you just think you're going crazy sometimes?" And I said,
"Oh my goodness,
no, not yet." But
how did you know where one ended and one began? Because I had postpartum depression with my second child, and I just thought it was because I worked full time, juggling 2 kids, 2-hour commute on the freeway, and a cheating husband. I was like, how do you know where one ends and the other begins? Yeah, that would do it.
That would definitely do it. What I found out is it didn't matter. It actually didn't matter which one it was. The truth of the matter is that I knew I was responding to things in a way that was unlike the person I knew myself to be. And it was like, okay, wait a minute. And so I went on a search to find out, well, how could this really help me? There's got to be an answer somewhere. And, a lot of times things like, different kinds of pharmaceuticals, they just didn't work for me. I ended up with more side effects and feeling worse. And so I started to do a lot of research, which then, led to my business, but in the area of this neuroscience called neuroplasticity, and figuring out what could I do for myself. And I picture it like I have a tool chest, and I have a lot of different tools in my tool chest. So when that feeling comes on, and the best I can describe that feeling is I feel like I'm at a top, and someone's starting to wind it, and I can feel the winding beginning. And just as soon as I start to feel that little winding beginning, I now go to my tool chest, because otherwise, once it got to a certain point, it just kept going, and then at some point, I would explode. And that would be, I'd be scurrying for cover, going someplace where I could be private, because I just knew it just was going to, literally felt like it just had to pour out of me in some way, shape, or form, and I wanted to do that privately. But I would feel exhausted, upset, and shamed after those would happen, even if I could do that in private. So I wanted to find these tools.
Hold on, I want to stop you for a second and give our readers maybe a little bit of insight. Is it similar to how you feel like when you have, like in a very small way, PMS, and you're like the other day I was trying to get stuff out of this frozen ice cream jug, and I couldn't get it out. Now, normally I would have run it under hot water, eased it out. I was like, and it was a completely different response than it was normally me. And I felt so tight and so frustrated, and so, and I behaved in a manner that's not usually like me. Is that something similar to what you experienced?
Yeah, I think it's similar, but there's a part when it gets started. I've noticed with the PSD, when it gets started, it's really hard to stop, and that's where when I hear the word like a syndrome, it's like, wait a minute, now there's a cycle, and I have to go all the way through the cycle. It's just how intense is that cycle going to be? And so the earlier I can stop it, makes the whole cycle seem a lot less intense, and being able to utilize different tools. And so now it can get to a point where, like, let's say, for example, since it was in a car accident, I'm driving along, and I'm in a near accident situation. It'll be, my heart will start to race. It will throw me, and here I am driving. It will throw me right into that. Now, I'm driving, and I may have a carload full of kids. What do you do that can keep them safe? Because clearly I can't go into this spiral. I feel like a sort of the Tasmanian devil. Do you remember that cartoon character?
Oh,
yeah. And then it's going to explode. So it's like, how can I stop it? So one of the things I do is I use a lot of gratitude. I will start to, the minute I feel the tiniest little bit of trigger, I will start to run through gratitude statements. And I just go over and over and over and over again and over and over and over and over again until finally it will start to calm down. Because otherwise I will get to that point where I just need to, whether it's yell or just really feel like I've got to, let loose. And the more active you are, you can't do that. And it was being able to come up with some of these other tools that allowed me to feel like I had control back. Because that was one of the biggest things is there's this feeling of lack of control. Because you don't know what's going to trigger you, and you don't know when it's going to trigger you. It could be you step into a building and it's too cold, and all of a sudden that triggers you. And you're like, wait a minute. And I started to, especially since I had physical issues and was, my arms and legs or my hands and arms were paralyzed for a while, I just could stay really, really quiet and have my life be really small. But once I started to get physically better and I wanted more of my life back, I needed to have those tools so that I could not have it happen.
Building those tools or discovering those tools, I think, is key too. We've only got a few more minutes before the break. How did you develop or discover those tools, Janine?
Well, one thing I could do is I researched on the net and I read everything I could, and then I practiced. I tried everything that I could find out about. I tried it, and to see what would work. And I would tell my husband about it, and I would tell my son about it, and then they'd be like, "Okay, how's this working? Are you seeing a difference?" And then when my son got really, really sick, I used those tools for him. And then we took it into our company, and we've done a lot of research with military families and with service members, both active and retired. And we got similar feedback on how these things work.
Wow. So are a lot of your tools available to share with others if they were to visit Touch-nology.com? And it's TOUCH-NOLOGY.com.
Yes, it would be great. We love to hear from people. Right now, we do have some products that are available through our store, which you can see on our website, but also we're doing a lot of work with the different military branches, and we're working with the Yellow Ribbon Reintegration Program out of the Pentagon, the Purple Ribbon. And so if you have a group that would like to get a hold of some of our kits that do this kind of work, because we have them ranging for children and teens and wounded service members and their families, and for during deployment and reintegration after deployment, we have things to cover all of that. So please shoot me an email, and I will make sure that you get to the right person.
Wonderful. Janine, it's always wonderful. We are always just uplifted every time we talk to you. You have certainly met the challenge and surpassed and exceeded beyond anyone. All of your doctors, I'm sure, would agree with that.
Well, thank you. Well, a busy mom, you don't have time for that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're an amazing woman, Janine. Thank you. We want everyone to visit you at Touch-nology.com. Janine Wilburn, thank you so much. On the other side of the break, we have Joyce Faulkner. She is going to chat with us in our Author's Corner about how to know when your work that you are so dedicated to writing will be ready for publication. Joyce has lots to share with us right after the break here on Military Mom Talk Radio.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
If you're ready for a big change in your work, your career, your happiness, your life, it's time for the $1 Million Mindset with Marla Tabaka. Monday afternoons at 2, 1 Central on TogiNet.com. Marla believes that with the right mindset, anything is possible. Join us as successful life coach Marla Tabaka inspires you and her clients to explore, discover, and live your dreams by developing what she calls the $1 Million Mindset. Marla will inspire you to take action on your dreams and reveal secrets to success that will help you realize your own unique power. Tune into the $1 Million Mindset for heartwarming stories with Marla Tabaka. Learn tips and tricks to building a successful business and unlock the secrets to creating a happier, more balanced life through abundant thinking and attraction power. For more information on the $1 Million Mindset, go to our website, marlatabaka.com. That's MarlaTabaka.com. It's the $1 Million Mindset with Marla Tabaka. Monday afternoons at 1 p.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Ministry is filled with both highs and lows, victories and struggles. It can be the best job in the world, but it can also be the hardest. Where do you find the balance between serving God and the joy of truly knowing Him? Wellspring, Tending the Heart of Ministry with Joanna Weaver. Thursday afternoons at 5 p.m. Central. Join us each week as pastor's wife, best-selling author, and host Joanna Weaver interviews women who serve God from the heart, both those who are well-known and those who minister in less visible ways. You'll discover tools for the ministry, but more importantly, you'll learn how to give God access to the deep places in your heart. For ministry is more than what we just do in public. It is who we are in private. Wellspring is here to inspire you to look into your heart of hearts and invest in the place ministry truly begins. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So join us for an hour that just might change your life. It's Wellspring, Tending the Heart of Ministry with host Joanna Weaver. Thursday afternoons at 5 p.m. Central on TogiNet.com.
Put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com. Covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with Doris Rivas-Brecky and Robin Boyd. Our guest first segment, if you missed it, was Nicole Germain. You should check her out. She's the brainchild behind the Women's Small Business Expo. Then we welcomed Janine Wilburn of Touch-nology. She talked a little bit about what it's like to be a mom living with PTSD or post-traumatic stress. And now we're going to welcome Joyce Faulkner, the president of Military Writers Society of America. But before we do, we have a little update from Shining Service Worldwide, which is one of the charitable endeavors that helps military women, and especially military women in transition. They got their military honorary chair today for their upcoming event, and their upcoming event is to get a home in New York City where women can go and get information, get treatments, get therapy, get all sorts of things. So Linda Franklin has worked very hard with Shining Service Worldwide, along with Todd Ubino of the Island Advantage Realty, to try to get a home donated from one of our big lenders like Wells Fargo, Bank of America. And they're doing a fundraising event in a couple months. And Sharon Sweeting Lindsay, who was inducted to the Veterans Hall of Fame last year, and has been instrumental in getting a house, a couple homes actually, for homeless vets in Queens, New York, has agreed to be their honorary chair, which is really, really exciting. So well done, Linda Franklin. Well done, Shining Service Worldwide. And now, without further ado, we're going to welcome Joyce Faulkner, and she is going to walk us through some publishing information, how to know when your manuscript is ready to be published. And Joyce, you are the president of Military Writers Society of America. Welcome, El Presidente.
Well, thank you. It's very nice to be back.
I'm so glad. So what are you going to teach us this month?
Well, if you remember the last month we had Lila Levinson on, and she talked about just sitting down and writing and not correcting yourself and creating this big lump of clay. Well, now that you have the big lump of clay, you have to turn it into something that possibly somebody else would want to read. You have to create your wonderful statue out of that. And the question is, when are you done? And when are you ready for other people to look at it? And there are several techniques that you can use, and we're going to be talking next month about getting an editor and what you need with an editor. But I want to mention today working with an editor, because that can be an exalting experience, or it can break your heart. So when you get ready to really be serious about a piece of work that you want to publish, you have to let somebody else read it, that somebody else will notice everything about it that you meant to say but didn't. and everything that you didn't say and you should have, and start working on it in general. So it's a kind of a raw experience. You might want to you might want to let that one go to a little bit further down the pike, because a professional editor is there to make your work professional, to make it publishable. Before you go there, though, there are a couple of other places, there are actually a lot of other places that you can go to prepare yourself for that eventuality. And the first that I would suggest is, do you have a friend or someone that you know who also is an author? And it would be nice if you had somebody who has already been through the process and is published. I know that sometimes our connections aren't always that good in the beginning, but that's a big help. I've always found it very helpful to toss something up against somebody else who has some experience, and they will very often recognize that, you need to go back and work on this again. You need to learn the rules of what works for people and what doesn't work. For example, we have audiences today who grew up with CSI. You get in, you make your point, you get out in an hour. So long descriptions and things like that, there's nothing wrong with it in general, but your audiences today probably won't stay around for that. So having somebody who's published and understands that is a big help. Another approach you can take is a critique group, and that's a bunch of people who get together. Some have published, some aren't, some of them are just like you, and sometimes that's a gentler way to throw your baby out there and let people look at it as it toddlers around. And you can find critique groups online. You can find critique groups sometimes at your public library, and certainly at your local colleges, and you can even announce on a Facebook page, hey, I'd like to form a critique group, and put something together. It is always a good idea to have at least one person as moderator to keep things moving, and at least one person who has been through the process before. And it probably doesn't make sense to have more than maybe 5 at a time. Libraries and coffee shops are a good place to go where it's quiet and you can sit down and really discuss. The other thing that you can do is a professional writers group, and that's what Military Writers Society of America is. We have Facebook pages where you can ask questions. We have blogs on our website. We have forums. Our people are very good about helping a newbie, as we call you, to sit down and look at your work and say, hey, we understand, we've been there. And this is something, and you will find, too, that there are different kinds of material. If you are writing for a child, that's one kind of thing. If you are writing science fiction, it's another. If you're writing history, it's another. But if you are writing a memoir, and this is about you personally, it's sometimes very difficult to let people talk and let people see it because it's you. So in that case, that's why our group is very good, because many of our people have done memoirs before, which I think are particularly difficult.
Could I just ask you quickly, Joyce?
Sure.
Are you on your website with your membership? Do you have virtual critique groups that people could participate in?
We do not have a virtual critique group as per se, but we do have groups of people that get together, and they can get together on Facebook with a chat, with a telephone call. It's always a good idea to read your material out loud anyway, and to read it out loud and let somebody hear it is a good idea. So for those reasons, I think sometimes the personal approach at this stage of the game might be more helpful.
Wonderful.
There are a couple of things I would warn against, though, and that is going to the gripe sites, and I'm sure that's what we call them, are the gripe sites. And that's where people go that have been disappointed, or they're angry, or they're putting out a lot of information that may not be useful to you. So it makes sense to find somebody that's very positive at this point of the game. And you want to make sure that your expectations are reasonable. You look at it, and this is the very first thing that you've done, and it might be fairly short, and you've only had one person look at it, and to believe that if you're going to package it up and send it off, and an agent's going to scoop it up, and it's going to become the next Harry Potter, might be a little, too ambitious and not realistic. It's always a good idea to look at your material at this stage and say, where am I? I have books that I worked on for 10 years before they're ready.
But if they're not ready, they're not ready. And I think if your name is going to go on a book, you want it to be the best work you can do. So I would say if there are if there's something that you're just not feeling is right, then it's worth waiting on it.
It is. And you really have to kind of put things aside for a while. Like, I'll write a book, finish it up, celebrate, have my bottle of wine, put it in the drawer for 2 or 3 months, and then come back and look at it. And your baby now has all kinds of warts on it. You see it. You fall in love with what you intended to say, and you sometimes can't see what you left out and what you did say. So you need that break from it.
I agree. I've typed for a number of different manuscripts, and it's so true. I will send it back it will go to a couple of editors, or it will go to people for review, and when it comes back, there are so many changes. But I might not see that author for another month and a half or 2 months, like you say. They needed that time to just let it digest and put it out there. Joyce, I want to make sure that people know how to contact you. First of all, what is your website over at Military Writers Society?
It is very easy. It's military.writers.com.
Wonderful.
And we welcome people to come, people who you don't have to be published to join us. Our dues are inexpensive. They're like $30 a year. And you will find a lot of wonderful people who are very eager to help and supportive while you're going through these beginning steps.
Well, we have just been so grateful for all of the people with Military Writers Society of America who have been visiting us, Joyce, and we do thank you. We're going to look forward to seeing you again next month. We'll have some more publishing tips from you, and we thank you for all of this great information for today. We want everybody to go to militarywriters.com and find out more about putting your thoughts about your military experience, thoughts, historic anecdotes, whatever, into print. Next week, we want everybody to tune in. We have Linda Jefferson coming from Go Army Homes. She'll talk to us a little bit about some PCS moves. Everybody needs to know more about that. We always have a move on the move at some point in time. Debbie Gregory is going to visit us. She's our dear friend from militaryconnection.com, and we'll have Dr. Jody Bramer visiting us. She again is a good friend. Lots of great information coming from Jody. Stay tuned next week. We've got all this coming your way right here on Military Mom Talk Radio. Have a great week, everyone.